Good Thursday afternoon. I'm Walt Gray.
And I'm Brenden Mincheff in for Monica Woods. Thanks for joining us. Today we're following several stories for you. First up, NASA warning one major California city is actually sinking.
We're also continuing our coverage.
NASA is putting out a dire warning about San Francisco. They say the city is sinking at a rate so fast it could put human life at risk. Scientists use satellite data to study vertical land motion from 2015 to 2023. Findings revealed that regional studies underestimate sea level rise, whereas NASA projects more than double the expected sea level rise by 2050. Experts say environmental changes and more frequent extreme weather could increase sea level rise even more.
That is, you know what? I've heard a lot about that in South Florida, like around Miami, where they're really going to have problems there. And any new construction has to account for that.
Right.
But San Francisco, whoa.
Well, and it's not just, rising or sinking land. I mean, we see that in the valley, too, where some places in the valley are sinking at a very high rate. And it's not necessarily geological. It's because we're pulling all the water out of the groundwater extraction. So, yeah, land is moving up and down, side to side, all over
Multiple stories for us to cover.
That's right.
All right, Brenden.
Plus, TSA troubles. Lines remain impacted during the partial government shutdown. The strain forcing more employees to call out, leading to longer lines across the country. And now to a live look at Sierra at Tahoe Road on US 50. It is the last day of winter, and it doesn't look like it based on that camera. You wouldn't know it. There's not much snow to be had, and it just kind of looks a little bit warm. And in fact, it is, with temps in the 70s. I've got a full look at the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Brenden, looking forward to that.
And continuing our coverage of the teacher strikes in our area, after more than a week on strike, Natomas teachers were back in classrooms. The Natomas Teachers Association announced overnight they reached a tentative deal with the district, ending the historic strike that began last Tuesday and escalated into sit-ins and a parent's arrest. This morning, students told us they're glad to have teachers back in the classroom as they near the end of the year.
Yeah, I was kind of getting emotional because it was like I didn't get to see my teachers for the end of my year, and honestly, I really missed them, so it feels great to be able to go back to class.
And we're still working to learn the details of the deal, but healthcare benefits were a key sticking point. The union is calling the agreement a win for educators, while the district has not yet said how it will impact its budget. And today is a transition day with substitutes on campus as teachers get reacquainted with students. The strike lasted 7 days, and it's still unclear if or how that lost learning time will be made up. And our coverage of the teacher strikes across our region doesn't end here. For more on all of the strikes, download the free ABC 10 app to your TV. Here is a live look in Phoenix, Arizona. And it's hot here, but you know what? It is much hotter there. It kind of looks the same.
Windy, too.
A little bit of a breeze there, just like there is here, just a little bit. But, as much as we're beating our temperature records, you can imagine how much worse it is down in Phoenix. Today, Arizona shattering those heat records. Phoenix reaching over 100 degrees for the second day in a row. In March, it's logging its earliest triple-digit days in the city's history. This is obviously catching a few people off guard. A family visiting from St. Louis felt the unexpected heat on their vacation.
We debated coming, but we did come anyway. And
there's your perspective. It doesn't matter how hot the temperature is when you arrive. It's what you left. And they're like, pool time, right?
I mean, I get it, but 100 degrees in March is
I know, for
extreme.
Real. That's something that the city's going to have to deal with mostly. The tourists will make their way around that for a week or so, but, get your golf tee time in at 7A.
Yeah.
You get your pool time in middle of the day, and you can work your way around.
You're in your summer pattern.
Yeah.
If you're living in Arizona, like you said, you're, tourist, you're in a hotel, you can visit the pool, whatnot. But, living and working in that's a completely different story. It's
not for me, thank you.
Yeah, not for me either. Thankfully, we're not in danger of reaching those triple digits with this heat wave. I mean, we're not necessarily that far away, 12, 13 degrees here in Northern California, away from 100. Like I said, we're not going to get there. We're not in danger of hitting 100 degrees, but 87 in Sacramento, 88 in Stockton, 87 Modesto. I'll step out of the way. You can take a look at some of these temperatures. Almost 80 degrees up in the high country this afternoon. Take a look at that number in Truckee, 79 degrees right now, 70 in Tahoe, 90 in Santa Rosa. San Francisco, 75 degrees. They got a little bit of a break today because they had a little bit of a marine layer, a very shallow marine layer, a few hundred feet. The top of the Golden Gate Bridge was visible. The bridge deck at the Golden Gate Bridge, that was mostly clear too. It was below the deck of the bridge. That's how shallow that marine layer was this morning out in San Francisco, but it was just enough to prevent them from getting as hot as they've been the last few days. For us here in Northern California, it's just as hot as it has been, just as hot as it was yesterday. Whatever the eventual high ends up being, whether it's 87, 88, or maybe we'll get even a little bit warmer, we've already crushed the previous daily high temperature record of 81 degrees. And tomorrow, one more day with highs in those upper 80s and low 90s. 87 right now. This is where we were at this time yesterday, looking towards downtown Sacramento. The difference is we have just a little bit of a variable breeze, 5 miles per hour roughly out there, and that may be just enough to prevent us from hitting 90 this afternoon, but we are awfully close to it. Could still get to about 88. In fact, we've already been at 88 earlier today, so I do expect that to be the high temperature if we don't get warmer again. We're going to hold on to the heat, though, as we go through the evening. Still near 80 degrees by 8 o'clock, still in the low 70s by 10 o'clock, mid-60s at midnight tonight. So another warm morning, and records continue to fall in the morning and in the afternoon across Northern California. Tomorrow's the first day of spring. Or is it going to be the first day of summer? Because honestly, it feels a lot more like summer out there. And we're going to be staying warm next week, too. I'm not talking about, 90 degrees next week, but still 80s for next week. Way warmer than where we should be. Warm morning on Friday, 57 in Sacramento, 56 Stockton, 57 Modesto, 65 in Placerville, 57 in Angels Camp, 37 in Truckee, and 34 in Tahoe. The peak of the heat continues tomorrow. We're back in those upper 80s and low 90s across the Valley and Delta, mid to upper 80s across the lower elevations, and mid to upper 70s in the high country, 74 in Tahoe, 78 in Truckee. It's no wonder we're losing so much snow every single day when we're near 80 degrees. Sacramento over the next 3 days. Again, tomorrow the peak of the heat, but we're going to stay in the 80s through the weekend. Check out Palm Springs, 107 tomorrow, 103 Saturday and Sunday. Denver's heat climbing through Saturday, could hit their earliest 90-degree day. But then on Sunday, there's going to be a cold front that comes in, so Denver's going to get some relief, but no relief for the rest of the Southwest. 106 in Phoenix tomorrow and Saturday, 102 on Sunday. So the next 3 days continue to be pretty hot. Record highs are going to continue even into next week, even for us here in Northern California, because this high pressure is looking like it may get a little bit of a regeneration here as we go into next week. So it's not necessarily a good thing that I'm already starting to put some boxes up for next week. Every single day this week, we've tied or set a new daily high temperature record. And with 80s remaining in the forecast, the longest March stretch of 80-degree days on record is 6 days. We should beat that by a lot. Look at the next 10 days here. 90 tomorrow, then 87 on Saturday. We're going to stay in those low to middle 80s. You see the records at the bottom of the screen there. It is going to remain at or above record temps.
So we're still officially in winter. Spring is supposed to be any minute now, and feels like it's like 3 seasons in one.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and we're getting mostly summer out of this.
I know.
So, yeah.
All right, Brenden. Thank you. Well, speaking of heat,
take a look at the next 10 here. 90 tomorrow. We got 80s on the way over the next several days. The daily high temperature records at the bottom of your screen there in the low 80s. So next week, even though it won't be quite as bad as this week, still going to be warmer than where we should be. And now to a health alert. It's National Poison Prevention Week, a time to bring awareness to the many things you have in your home that could harm a child if ingested.
ABC 10 contributor Mandy Gaither now has some hidden dangers you may not know about and explains how parents can help prevent accidental poisonings.
Looking for something to do, perhaps, on this upcoming hot and sunny weekend? Well, we've got a rundown of things happening in and around Sacramento. First up, get your comic book filled with Sacramento Comic Con, starting Saturday, continuing Sunday. Dig through comic bins, search for collectibles and toys, and meet some of your favorite voice actors and artists. Celebrity guests include the cast of the anime Naruto, suit actors for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and comic book artists such as John Romita Jr., known for his work on Spider-Man and Daredevil comics. It's also a great way for like-minded geeks to come together, some even dressing up as their favorite pop culture characters. Full weekend tickets are $25, Saturday-only tickets are $20, and Sunday, just $10.
So if you go, you're admitting that you're a geek. Is that what I'm getting out of it?
You can wear it with a badge of honor. Why not?
All right, there you go. And rev up those engines. Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live is coming to Sacramento. Just one of the many stops as part of their 2026 Glow and Fire Tour. See all the unique trucks and what they do, all those daring stunts. You can take the whole family Tickets start at about $33.
Pre-show and VIP upgrades are also available, allowing folks to see the monster trucks up close and personal. Visit HotWheelsMonsterTrucksLive.com for more tickets and more details.
Can you get a luxury suite for Hot Wheels monster cars?
Not for $33.
Exactly. All right, also happening Sunday, the Sacramento River Cats are facing the San Francisco Giants. It is an exhibition game in West Sacramento, Sutter Health Park. Game starts just after 5 p.m. Lawn tickets are starting for about $35. So that's a little bit more, I think, than the regular lawn seats are out there for the River Cats games.
Yeah, but not bad. A good weekend to do it. It's baseball weather, right?
Yeah.
We'll be in those
is it going to not too hot, right? Sunday, 5 p.m.?
Yeah, I mean, too hot for the time of year, but ultimately, not 90, so a little bit better, I suppose. Yeah. And now, let's look at Golden One Center, where also happening on Sunday, the Kings will celebrate Slamson's birthday. The Kings will take on the Brooklyn Nets, all while celebrating their mascot in a fun-filled evening, and hopefully we can light the beam for Slamson's birthday.
Okay, if they're trying to win, I'm confused. I mean, we're happy when they win, but then if they lose, it's better for the draft. I'm stuck in the middle on all this. All right, now to what's trending. Let's find out what people are wanting to know right now. The upcoming season of The Bachelorette has been canceled just days before it was set to actually premiere.
This is following domestic abuse claims against the Bachelorette herself, Taylor Frankie Paul.
A 2023 video of a fight between the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star and her ex, Dakota Mortensen, resurfaced today. Disney Entertainment TV confirmed the cancellation of the show, with a spokesperson saying in part, quote, "In light of the newly released video just surfacing today, we made this decision to not move forward with a new season of The Bachelorette at this time, and our focus is on supporting the family," end of quote.
Disney is locking in its blockbusters for 2028, starting with everyone's favorite extraterrestrial. Yeah, we're getting ahead of it. The studio has officially announced a sequel to the live-action Lilo and Stitch, which is set to hit theaters over Memorial Day weekend 2 years from now. But the 2028 summer movie season doesn't stop there, as The Incredibles are suiting up once again. The highly anticipated Pixar movie will debut just 3 weeks after Stitch makes his return, setting the stage for a massive season at the box office in 2028.
And March Madness is officially underway. The men's tournament kicked off with some of the play-in games. Maybe you've been watching them. And if you're hoping to get a perfect bracket, you're going to really need some good luck. ABC 10 contributor Jen Sullivan breaks down betting on March Madness games.
For Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
I got Arizona all the way.
My bracket's already busted. You never know.
What do you got? You got who you got?
Florida, probably.
No, I'm saying if your bracket's already busted.
Oh, I didn't pick High Point. Yeah,
oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, we're supposed to talk about John Bartel now, because you'll never know what you'll see on the back roads. Bartel takes us today to northern Washington to learn about Bigfoot through the eyes of indigenous people.
We have breaking news. Nexstar Media Group has officially closed its multi-billion-dollar acquisition of ABC 10's parent company, Tegna, creating the largest local broadcast television company in the nation.
The $6.2 billion deal was approved by the Federal Communications Commission and the Department of Justice today, clearing the way for Nexstar to acquire Tegna's 64 local TV stations. And this comes as 8 state attorneys general filed a lawsuit late last night to try and stop the acquisition. The suit, led by California and joined by New York, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, North Carolina, Oregon, and Virginia, was filed in federal court here in Sacramento under antitrust law.
So California's Attorney General Rob Bonta is arguing the deal is illegal and would mean higher pay TV prices, job losses, and less competition in local news. Bonta and other AGs held a virtual news conference today about this.